Hi, this is Jamie Angeli. I'd like to welcome you to Stopping the Unstoppable, Junk Defenses That Work. In this DVD, we're going to give you some creative ideas on ways you can take out the top one or two scorers on your opponent's team. And I really believe that using some of these techniques, it is going to improve your chances of victory. We've all faced teams that have one or two great players that end up taking the majority of the shots and play a majority of the minutes. I think two things are real important when using a specialty defense or a junk defense against them. Number one, your opponent probably is not spending a lot of time in practice preparing for a junk defense. So the element of surprise is going to be in your favor. And number two, if you're successful in taking those top one or two scores out of the equation, you're now forcing the non-scorers, the non-shooters to step up and become scorers. That's a role they're not comfortable with. That's going to make their team uncomfortable and give you a better chance at winning. In this DVD, we're going to take you through a couple of different ideas that I've used throughout my 25 plus years in the business. We're going to show you the diamond and one defense, the triangle and two defense. We're going to talk about a little later in the video a DH concept that I refer to as a designated helper. We're going to talk about using traps to get the ball out of the opponent's best player's hands, and also a flooding concept that we're going to teach you at the end of the DVD that you can use as another special to try and disrupt the top one or two scorers on the opposing team. I think it's important for you as a basketball coach and really preparing your team to use some of these specialty defenses, some of these junk defenses, that you try to put your team in as many situations in practice as possible in the triangle and two, in the diamond and one. Give them as many different looks offensively that you think the other team might try to do against it. So your team is prepared. It's not enough just to tell your players on the court that you're supposed to stand here, you have this area. You've got to get them used to making those slides, those reads, depending on where the basketball is. So the more situations you put them in practice, whether it's running against a motion offense, have them use a triangle and two against the flex and see how they cover that. And then when they make mistakes, you talk to them about the reads and responsibilities and you work through it. So try to put them in as many situations. Run some of your best set plays against the triangle and two or the diamond and one and see how you would cover it. And when you come to a situation where there's some discussion on how it should be covered, that's when you teach and you walk through and you describe, this is the way it should be covered, given the rules in our defense, this is how we're going to handle it. And now when the game comes, your team's been prepared because they've gone through those situations over and over again in practice.
There's really no sense in running a denial system unless you're really going to work hard to keep the basketball out of those key players' hands. Here you see we're going to get out in the passing lanes and deny and get a hand on the basketball, make it very difficult for those key players to touch the basketball in operational areas on the floor. Anytime the ball is reversed across the top into your diamond and one, that backside wing has got to be prepared to come out, sprint out, and guard the basketball. Here you're going to see the ball swung across the top. Our backside forward comes out, maybe just too late, but still that reaction time when that ball is in flight across the top, your backside wing has got to be flying out, ready to guard the ball or the shooter. This next clip, again, you're going to see the basketball brought back across the top. The backside wing forward slides out, takes the basketball. Your post is across, guarding the low post, and now you have a great opportunity to really double and cause trouble inside for your post player. Being successful in a diamond and one is going to mean a lot of communication. Teams are going to try to set staggered screens, especially along the baseline, to try to free the shooter. Here you can see a little staggered screen. The forward recognizes and now jumps out and takes the player along the baseline, and basically the two players now just switch positions defensively.